So here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. This is for Bootleg Macro Entertainment, Dustin Norman. We're going to go through my key three. What I have, let's look at the SPY first. So what this is, by the way, so since you have no idea what you're looking at, what this spreadsheet does is it uses Google Finance data. So whenever I type in a ticker here, what it does is there's a series of different formulas. It's going to go ahead and pull the data. First, what I'm going to do is on this trend sheet, which is what I call it, I have essentially an overview of what is the weekly information as well as the daily information. This just gives me a really quick way if I want to get an idea of what I'm looking at. So like the SPY, it is bearish on 23 week, bearish on 10 week, bearish on 23 day, bearish on 10 day. The signal that we see right now is go short for both weekly and daily, and volume is increasing, which is not great. So the way that I think about it is the first thing that I'll generally do is go ahead and look at kind of just this like little key or this little card that I've created. So it'll give me the price, give me the ticker, give me the sentiment, give me the trend price to know where it would break to change it to be not bearish but bullish, obviously. And then its correlation to Bitcoin, its correlation to the VVIX, which is the volatility of volatility, the range, which gets expressed in a sentiment range right here. So like this is going to be the 434 and this is going to be the 385 and then this is going to be the closing price today. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and look at the weekly. So this is going to be the weekly. I did type in the Google Finance. You can see just A2 and then price for Google Finance. It pulls it all in. And if we look, what I'm looking for is a 5-star setup in terms of what I think is the overall trend. Here, I'm going to look, since this is weekly, I'm going to say I've got rolling 5-month as negative if the market closed today. I've got a short signal, so that would be a 2nd star. So first, rolling 5-month is 1 star. Short signal is 2nd star. I have volume increasing in the direction of the signal, which is a 3rd star. I have a bearish signal on, I think, a 23-week or 24, some longer series, or maybe shorter series of weeks. And then on the longer series of weeks, it is also bearish, so that would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star setup for the bearish signal. I do have an idea that generally this is going to be a counter trend rally, and here's the reason why. If I look at the daily, this is going to be all daily here. This is going to be the price that came in today. We're going to see that we had a over 2.5% or over 2% move just today. On the 5-day rolling, we're almost 2.5%. So we've got a 5-star setup still here, but this is a 1 for the 1-month price momentum negative. We've got the go short signal, we've got the volume increasing, we've got bearish and bearish. So essentially what this is telling you is stay the fuck out of the market. You're going to get wrecked if you go any further. So SPY, we're looking for probably a rally. If we can get a rally up into the mid 430s, I'd be really happy. More likely, where's my midpoint? We'll probably get a rally maybe into the 420s, low 420s, and then it'll stall, and that'll be the place I'm going to start looking to short some more. Let's go ahead and look at the IWM quick. So again, just typing in the data, pulls in all the data. If you want to see it on the daily, where it just kind of like populates. So right now we're still looking at all the SPY data. It's going to change all of these formulas that exist because all of the data runs off of, or all of the formulas run off of what the data is. There's a series of calculations you see. When there's no data, it just essentially goes empty. Or in the series of the long and short, the daily bull and daily bear, it just shows you what would be the if false under the statement. Here comes all the data, here comes all the volume, and then all of the additional formatting, all the additional formulas kick off, and then we get an idea. So let's go back to this. Again, bearish on the weekly, go short, falling bear for sentiment. We do have falling volume on the weekly, where that would indicate that maybe we're not actually going to get a downward push necessarily on the weekly, but we'll see. Maybe we're going to get a volume increasing this week if we're lucky and we're short. So it looks like we are short, bearish on the daily, and go short, falling bear, increasing volume. Not great, not a good look. Let's go to the weekly. Again, 182. We've got 5-month rolling negative, almost 20%. We're up a little bit, obviously, since last week we were damn near 20%. So that is a 1-star, go short, 2-star, volume falling, so we do not get a star for that. And then we are bearish and bearish, so this is a 4-star setup. That's how I would view it, 4 out of 5 stars. It's a good setup. I don't know if I would necessarily take it over the SPY right now. Let's go to the daily. So this is going to be the daily ticker. So here we have, obviously, prices up over 3% today. Pretty good day. We do have 1 month, which is still negative, so that's a 1 star. We've got the go short, 2 star, volume increasing, 5, 4, 3 star, bearish. So that's a 5 star setup. When we think about what we're looking for here in terms of the range, we could go all the way up to 196. But if you notice, we have a lower high. Like, these continue to be lower highs, which is not a great signal of a rally. We got lower lows. We're down to 168. It's pretty dynamic in terms of how it moves too. Falling bear for sentiment. I'm trying to go fast because I don't want this video to be too long, because if you have any questions, feel free to ask them wherever I post this. Still been decided. Let's see. Yeah, 168 for the bottom. I mean, we're already at 182, so like it doesn't have much more to go. It could maybe go up another like 5% or so, you know, to 180 to 195, maybe. I mean, I guess maybe that would be it could go up 20%, I guess, right? Like or 10%. It could in theory go up to 200. Right, I think the non-sentiment based has a top of 216. I use sentiment based. I think that's much more accurate. So 196 is what we're looking at. The weekly, it's a little extended. Yeah, I'm just. So this is going to be one where I'll be looking again, just being patient. Now let's look at the QQQs. Again, this is gonna show you what you're looking for. We're going to look at the QQQs. I have a feeling the Qs are even in a worse spot right now. The Qs just have so much of the money to come out of it. It's very similar to the SPY, to be honest. The SPY has a ton of the large cap tech names that are still safety trades for people, and they have to get destroyed. That's Jerome Powell has said from on high, we must destroy all equity. All value. We must bring down and tighten financial conditions. If you believe that tomorrow is going to be a better day, I want to spit in your soup. That's pretty much what he's saying right now. So Qs are going to get it. You know, it's bearish. We do have a rising bull on the weekly, which is an interesting signal. I'm very curious about that, actually. Volume is increasing on these short signals, and it is short-term bullish on the weekly. That is very interesting. So let's look. This could definitely be a counter trend rally very aggressively for a bit here. We're at 306 would be today. Don't worry about the volume on the weekly. It's always trash. The Google finance data is always good a week after. Always good a week after when it comes to the weekly data. Let's see. So we are down on the 5 months. Ooh, down 23% on 5 month change. That is a rough fucking go for the Qs. So that's a 1 star. We got to go short. That's a 2 star. Volume increasing, 3 star. Bearish on the short term and bearish on the long term, 5 star. That's a 5 star setup. This is a 5 star setup, and probably the thing. I mean, think about it. This thing was at $400. Like if we took the initial, let's say we took this initial setup, right? We got a 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. That's a 5 star setup right there. What day was that? So February 4th, 2022, it told you that at 358. It's now at 306. Yikers. That is how you destroy money. Way to go, Jerome Powell. Let's go look. Actually, let me see, because I know it had a rising bull. Yeah, it had a rising bull in sentiment. Be very curious to see what ends up happening here. It looks like this is still higher. This is like based off of an average. So it wants to be a little bit more smooth, right? So I'll be looking for like a trend flipping. I'll be looking for a decent trend flipping to exist sometime soon. The weekly is tough to do. I mean, I don't trade weeklies like that. Weekly is just for the overall like season that you're in. The dailies are what tell you what the weather's going to be. So now we've got 306 for today. It looks like we were up almost 2.6. There you go. Still down on the 1 month, so that's a 1 star. Go short 2 star, volume increasing 3 star, bearish 4 star, bearish 5 star. Rough. That's a rough go. Where could we go here? We could bounce all the way up to 334 and as low as 284. Let's look at the trend on this. I just want to look at the general idea. Yeah, the VIX. It's got an interesting VIX correlation, I will admit. It's only at negative 56. I would have expected more. Maybe it's because all the big cap stuff that's in there. Probably like big cap growth is starting to get safe. So yeah, so I mean, this could honestly still rally about 10%. But it really could. It could rally 10% very easily, and that would still be within the probable range, very comfortably. So I would stay away from shorting this for right now. I'll just be patient. I have no need. There's no reason to rush it when you know what the trend is going to be, and you have a very good feeling about what the wind is at your back. Let's go ahead and take. I just want to look at Tesla because everybody hates this thing, and that's not true. A lot of real money managers hate this, but a lot of retail fucking cult love this thing. Like this is the soup du jour of this era. Like if there's one thing to describe, if people ever look back and go, let's talk about the stock market from 2010 to 2020, whatever you want to call this right now, 2022, or even post-pandemic, it's going to be all about Tesla and it's going to make no sense, but it's going to be the equivalent of like when people tell me that AOL was a gigantic company in the early 2000s. They bought Time Warner. And I'm like, they don't even exist anymore. Like, what are we talking about? Or like when somebody talks about what Sears was, you know, like Tesla's just, it's an era. I mean, it's still bullish on the weekly, which is insane. It's giving a go short signal, which I would expect. It's got rising bull. Daily is bearish, go short, falling bear. Let's look at this range. It could go all the way down to under $700, which it's getting there. All the way back up. I could very easily foresee up to 1,000. And if we get up to 1,000, that might be the crescendo place to be able to sell for puts for the end of the year. I mean, for real, this is going to be, I mean, this trend, I mean, you can see like it peaked on 4.4. I mean, that's the most recent peak. That's the cycle peak that we're on right now. The true cycle peak is probably going to be, yeah, right there, or yeah, it's going to be 11.421 is when the real cycle peaked. I mean, I'll look at it on the weekly. Yeah, 11.5. This is the cycle peak. I mean, 11.5, 122.09. That's the peak, and it definitely is going to rise for a little bit. It's definitely going to rise for a little bit based on the sentiment that I'm seeing, and the correlation to the volatility. Sorry, I'm going fast because I'm about to run out of time, so I want to make sure that see, like I said, Google data sometimes sucks. But I don't worry about the volume on a specific day, especially the first day. But it looks like, it was up 5% today. It was up over 5% today. That's an insane move. It's something that's worth, I don't know, $700 billion or whatever it's worth. But you've got rolling negative. It's down 25% over a month, so that's 1 star. Got the go short, 2 star. Volume increasing, 3 star. We got the bearish, 4 star. And bearish long term, 5 star. You can't win with this kind of a setup. You really can't in a falling bear. I mean, again, maybe this thing goes all the way back up to 1,000. Maybe it does. Maybe Tesla flips and just goes parabolic, straight from 761 straight to 987, and they feel like they're the richest people in the world, and Elon dunks on the world and buys Twitter and does everything. Let's actually look at Twitter quick too. Since we have a couple minutes, I have 2 minutes left. This is the value of this tool. This is why I love doing this. This is why I love going around the pond of the market. And I love being able to show and talk with people about this when I can just type in tickers and get an idea of what's going on. Because when you have this type of depth and you have a tool that is consistently delivering you the exact same output in terms of the type of calculations that it's doing, it allows you to start to see true patterns that aren't patterns that everyone else is looking at. And, I mean, that's a small chart, but that is an ugly chart. I mean, that's an ugly chart. So it's bullish on the weekly, bearish on the daily. I mean, let's go Elon. Let's go Elon. I mean, you're the greatest South African entrepreneur in America that I think has ever existed. So let's go Elon. You probably are the only person who might be better with the guy, maybe De Beers. Are they from South Africa where they invented the idea of diamonds being valuable? I mean, whew. Okay, so this must have been when he announced, so it's been bullish since. I mean, it's still on 5-month change. It's going to be down 11%. Let's go daily quick. Let's go daily. Yeah, it's starting to hit the bottom of its range pretty aggressively. It's up 2% today, but it's down over a month, so 1 star, 2 star. We don't have volume increasing yet, but it will probably be flipping soon. Got bearish, 5 star. I mean, if you would have just shorted, essentially it would say short right there. It would say short on the 13th. And the range, yeah, this bad boy can go below 40. And it did. Yeah, this is going to be ugly. If you like this, Go to bootlegmacro.com or follow me on Twitter. Peace.